All right, my mic
It burns.
is hot. Here we go. We're ready to go. Welcome in. It's Magic Game Day. My name is Jake Chapman. That's Chrissy Birdsall, our graduate associate, and we are up here on the radio deck getting set for the broadcast tonight. Third game in 4 nights. Magic hoping to make it a successful homestand, split the baseball series with the Boston Celtics. You fall last night. It was a disappointing loss, to be sure. It's a good defensive team in the Boston Celtics. Felt like a game that you certainly could have won. You let Anthony Simons get cooking in the first half. He had 25. Luka Garza in the fourth quarter was dominant on the glass, and yes, felt like one that you let slip away. But I think you still found some things that you can build upon, and I do think the offense, work in progress right now. Turnovers were obviously the big issue last night. 17 miscues for 29 Boston points. That's what Boston tries to do. They took us out of our comfort zone a little bit last night, but another chance to bounce back tonight against a pretty good Portland Trailblazers team. I know we don't see a lot of Portland here on the East Coast, but they come in 5-4. They're coming off a loss on Saturday night in Miami, where the Heat put 136 points on them. But it's a Portland team that, with interim coach Thiago Splitter, is they're very handsy. They're very active defensively, and they have some good young talent that you might not have heard of. So will be a good challenge tonight, and then the Magic out on the road. We'll see the Knicks coming up on Wednesday night. Chrissy is to my right, and we're checking out your comments here on Magic Game Day. Hopefully able to get back on the right track here tonight against the Portland Trailblazers. Let's go through some of these comments. Any of them jumping out at you just yet?
Kyle Gaming already, some of the stuff he's saying, need a strong start from the support staff, TDS, AB, JI, bench needs to be better. I think that's a really good point to bring up early, because in the games that we won, Coach Mosley said 2 things, defense and depth. Games that we lost, defense and depth. And I feel like that's been a really big key. Now, we didn't see that as much yesterday. He was talking a lot more about the ball movement, but I think that defense and depth is going to be a key, especially without having Jalen tonight. Likely it'll be Anthony Blackett in the start, and seeing what he can do. Last time he had the start, he played really well. So continuing that defense and depth is going to be a key. Yeah,
it's a good point. No Jalen Suggs tonight, second night of a back-to-back, and this will be the third case this season where Jalen does not play the second half of a back-to-back. Magic have split those games. The one Chrissy's referring to was the Hornets game where Anthony Black got his first start, and he did play very well that night. And the bench has been a little bit hit or miss, with the exception of Tristan Da Silva. He's been very consistent. But with that said, with Jalen out, obviously you're going to need his production to come from somewhere. And by the way, his production, he played 29 minutes last night, and that was by far a season high. He came in averaging just over 19 minutes per game. But he's been, by several measures, your best offensive player, at least if you look at the percentages. Jalen shooting 45.5% from 3, 58% from the field, and knocking down 89% of his free throws. Comes in averaging 12 points a game and dishing out 4 assists, and he was fantastic last night as well. Scored a season-high 20 points, 6 of 7 at the free throw line, dished out 4 assists. That wasn't the problem last night. It was the turnovers last night. Jalen had a hand in those, but everybody did. Coach Mosley talking after the game about playing in a crowd. This isn't a pace conversation. I pulled the transition numbers today. The Magic are not only not turnover prone in transition, but they're a top 5 team as far as points per possession when they're playing in transition. Getting out and running is not the problem. It's in the half court right now, and Boston makes a lot of teams look like that in the half court. But Portland is going to be another challenge tonight, just as far as deflections, how handsy and physical they are, and can you operate in the half court. Friday night, I thought the difference was the ball was snapping in the half court, and it was moving side to side, and you were getting those paint touches and then kicking it out, spraying it out for good looks. And then, off the kick, you were swinging it and passing up good looks for even better ones. It felt like at times last night the ball movement died, and this is not on one man. This is across the board. You got to keep trusting the offense. You got to keep making the natural basketball play. A lot of this stuff is just instinctual. If 2 men are coming at you, somebody's open. Keep moving the ball within the half court, but make the simple pass. You don't need the behind-the-back stuff. You don't need to thread the needle with the bounce pass into traffic, because Portland will turn you over another 19 times, or 17 times, I should say, if you try to do that a little too much. So I'm interested in seeing how the team responds. It was a frustrated group, to be sure, last night. felt like a game that they let get away, and you're going to have those over the course of an 82-game season. With that said, I think some of the consternation that Magic Twitter was pretty toxic last night. Let's take a step back. You're 4-6, 10 games into the season. You didn't get blown out by 30. It was a couple buckets here, a couple turnovers there, and that outcome might have looked a little bit different last night. But I understand. We're passionate fans. It is what it is. And with expectations, I can understand why everybody would have expected this to look a little bit better 10 games on. But another chance, what did they say about the NBA? There's always another one right around the corner. You got a chance to try to rectify things here tonight against the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah, and even hitting on that, Coach Mosley said before Friday's game, he was talking to Jason Beattie of the Orlando Sentinel, and he said these are drafts. You're not going to get it perfected on the first, second, third try, but as the season goes on, they want to be playing their best basketball as the season goes on. There's still a ton of moving pieces. You talked about the pace. You talked about Desmond Bane coming in, and I'm seeing your comments here from Offshore Records on TikTok. Need to make more plays for Bane to get open, and the players have talked about that. All throughout the week, they said, we need to find ways to get him more open looks, and I think as more players start to turn up, it'll create those open looks just naturally for Desmond Bane to get going.
Yeah, and I think, look, some of this, because I see that stuff, you can't just look at the end of the game and be like, Desmond Bane only took 9 shots last night. The offense is broken. Because what's happening is Coach Mosley is providing optionality for all of these players. And then Coach Mosley isn't the one who's passing the ball into traffic, and he isn't the one who's missing open jumpers. So everybody shares responsibility here. And Coach Mosley will be the first to tell you, he's not perfect, and he's still trying to work out a way to accentuate the strengths of every player on the floor. But Desmond Bane was brought here to play make and to alleviate some of the pressure on Paolo and Franz. I appreciate the fact that Desmond Bane, as one of your best three-point shooters, we want him to get more open looks from three, but you also want him to set Paolo and Franz up and to put them in spots where they're able to be successful, and all of that works together and in concert. And so some of the comments just seem a little bit, I don't know, oversimplistic, I think is maybe a good way to put it. I've got a few other words that I'll use, but we'll save those for when we're off air. I would just say exercise a little bit of patience. It's a long season, and it's still a work in progress. And I think there are some things, as mentioned, that you can point to that are definitely positives that you can build upon. The march to the free throw line is going to be their night in and night out. And oh, by the way, now Paolo Banchero, there's only one player in the league who has shot more free throws than Paolo, and there's only one player in the league who has made more free throws than Paolo, and that guy's the reigning MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So that is that's a positive sign that you can build upon, to be sure. Thought Franz had a rough night last night, but his percentages are still very sparkly. And with Desmond, boy, we loved the way it looked on Friday night, didn't we? Where he had 7 assists. Last night he had 6 assists, wasn't quite as aggressive offensively, and all of a sudden everything's busted. So I think I got home last night, probably made a mistake hopping on the internet and hopping on the old Twitter machine and getting frustrated and a little dismayed by some of the comments. We appreciate it. We understand. Everybody is passionate and everybody's fired up. But as Jellyfish says, simplistic because I'm a dumb fan. I'm not talking about you, unlikely Jellyfish. You are not a dumb fan at all. But I think we gotta tap the brakes a little bit on the overly charged up comments after you lose a game. That was a couple buckets one way or another, a couple turnovers one way or another from going another direction. We're 4-6 on the year, and 2-3 here at home and 2-3 out on the road. And some of the teams that you lost to are some of the better defensive teams in the league when you consider Atlanta, when you consider Boston, when you consider Miami. So we'll see. I think tonight will be a really good test. And you get a dub tonight against this Portland Trailblazers team. I think everybody will be feeling a lot better about themselves, to be sure.
Yeah, I think Will Dawson summed it up perfectly. Worry meter is at a 1 out of 10. The season's still early.
That's
and
Will,
been
though.
healthy.
That's Will. I love you, but I'm not sure you're accurately portraying the feelings on Magic Twitter. Anyways, that was about a 12 out of 10
Magic
last night.
Twitter is its own little
It really
thing
is.
going on.
Maybe it's my fault for dipping my toes in those waters.
But I'm going to head downstairs, catch Coach Mosley's pregame press conference.
All right, as you do that, don't throw
your
your mic on the ground as you do that. I'm going to turn your mic off, and then Chrissy's going to go down and catch up with Jamal Mosley, and maybe she'll come back and join me. I'm not sure, but excellent work, Chrissy Birdsall, our graduate associate. All right, I'm going to go through these, and let's see if hopefully I won't get all fired up with you guys here. It's Jake Chapman, by the way, up on the radio deck. You can check out our broadcast tonight if you're in the Central Florida area beginning at 6:30, 96.9 The Game. You can always stream us on the iHeart app or on the Orlando Magic app, or if you're outside of the listening area, Sirius XM and NBA Audio Pass, NBA League Pass audio. as well. All right, let's see. We got Duval. He says, last night slipped away. Tonight is a new opportunity. That is the type of mentality we're looking for here on Magic Game Day. Moinchu, I think is the way to pronounce that. So why is TDS not getting any crunch time minutes? It's a good question because Tristan Da Silva has been shooting the rock. Problem is, depending on matchups, you got Paulo and Franz on the floor no matter what. And if you go with kind of 3 forwards, then you're probably keeping Wendell Carter Jr. off the floor. And I think you need a little bit of size, but I don't think that's going to be the case necessarily all season long. When you have a small ball matchup type of group on the floor, like Luka Garza was sort of eating our lunch last night on the glass. When you have a smaller group on the floor, and Coach Mosley was actually asked that yesterday, just the idea of having Paulo play the 5 or basically having Paulo, Tristan, and Franz on the floor at the same time. I think there will be opportunities to close games like that, and certainly to get those guys on the floor together. Tristan is definitely knocking on the door for more minutes. But I think right now, look, rebounding is something that this team did very well last year. The offensive rebound numbers are up this year, and Wendell is owning the glass in that regard. But you're just middle of the pack as far as total rebounds and defensive rebounds go, rebounding percentage as well. This team should be better. I think with our size, it should be a top 10 rebounding team. And so that is something I think taking away offensive boards from opposing teams, we can do much better. And that is something that, you can defend your butt off for 23 seconds. You give up an offensive rebound in a fresh 14, and that is very deflating. So hopefully you're able to clean up the glass tonight, because I do think Garza specifically on the glass, but some offensive rebounding over the course of the season has been kind of one of the things that sort of bit you in the butt at times, and hopefully you're able to rectify that. Juan Feliciano says, team has to maintain this identity defense. The fast pace will get better with time, but the defense has to be strong. I agree, and I think the pace it's like one of the furthest things from my concerns right now. The Magic still defend well, and they're still forcing turnovers. And the Magic, when we talk about pace, it's about off makes. It's about early offense. It's about what Coach Mosley says, playing basketball and figuring out a way to get a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2 or a matchup that you like, and just going quickly into a quick pick and roll, a quick give and go. Not necessarily a set, putting the ball in your playmakers' hands and letting them go out and just play. And so that's what you're looking for. And that's when, if you ever listen to the broadcast, I always talking about turning D into O and letting your defense help your offense out a little bit. That was the idea, the entire offseason, the entire training camp, of just utilizing your defense a little bit better on the offensive end. And that's what you're looking for. And so I think the defensive identity has been a little bit hard to wrangle. It's not quite what it looked like last season, but I think that is something that is sort of coming around at this point. Defense wasn't a problem necessarily last night. It was the turnovers, as Coach Mosley made very clear in his post-game press conference. Jake Chapman here with you. Let's see. We got Prying says Goga's going to turn it around today. It was a rough night last night, certainly for Goga Bataze, but it wasn't just him. I think most of the second unit, as we already talked about, struggled last night, and that is big. And Chrissy made a great point. The best performances you've seen so far this year, Coach Mosley has touted post-game, the defense and the depth. And that's what this group needs. That is two of the strengths that you think you have as you look down the roster. Certainly the defensive identity, but guys like Tristan, guys like Anthony Black have all played huge roles in big wins over the course of the year. You need a little bit more consistency. And then when you look at Goga, who struggled last night, Jonathan Isaac, whose minutes are kind of up and down, but if you look at some of the advanced numbers, I think you understand why. Jonathan's had a rocky season so far, had a really good Charlotte game, and maybe it is a thing where you give him more minutes and he's able to play his way in to like a comfort level, but he's struggling when he's on the floor right now. The percentages don't look great, and the rebounding numbers don't look great either. And so when you're out there, you need to do what you do very well. And so I think Coach Mosley kind of waiting for that from Jonathan Isaac right now. But you need a little spark off the bench tonight. Maybe it's a night where Tyus Jones finally gets going a little bit. He's been struggling, I think, to find his role offensively within that second unit. And you don't have a ton of time to kind of wait, over the course of a game for a guy to get it rolling. Coach Mosley's going to put you out there for your stretch in the first half. And if he doesn't see it, then he's going to go with what works. And it's hard to blame him, I think, for that. Tomcat 5523 says, force turnovers, don't commit turnovers. Okay, that's good advice. It's probably easier said than done. But I do think, I think that it really boiled down to that last night. The Magic are going to create turnovers. They're going to be able to force them. Can they take care of the basketball? And can they take care of the basketball specifically within the half court? 5 or 6 turnovers last night are easy getbacks. You're talking about trying to thread a needle when if you just swing the ball around the perimeter a little bit and get the defense moving side to side, you're going to be able to net just as good a look. And you saw that on Friday night. The ball movement was popping for most of the night. And last night, I think it started to die. And then what happens is it's not necessarily selfish basketball, but it's okay, I'm going to snap this possession off. I'm going to bring us back into the game with a step-back long jumper. And it's just guys trying to do for their teammates. But this team is designed to share the basketball within the half court and to get some of your size going at the basket. Teams, until we prove that we're one of the better three-point shooting teams in the league, teams are going to pack the paint against us. And it's about getting the ball inside into that paint and then spraying out and kind of compromising the defense. The way that it's been designed to compromise it with your big 6'10 forwards puncturing that thing, collapsing it, and then spraying out for open looks. And then when you kick, maybe you swing after the kick and you get an even more open look. Prying says, Jake, we're still 2-0 in games where Goga hits a 3.
Coach, we talked about the importance of ball security last night. No team in the NBA is hurting opponents more for turnovers than the Blazers. Just how high up on the priority list is that tonight?
Big time. Similar to last night, they do it the same way that Atlanta does it, but obviously they're number 1, number 2 in the league in it. And so we've got to make sure that we are taking care of the basketball, on time, on target passes, creating the right spacing when you're open, taking the shot, just to create that same type of spacing.
Obviously, teams are going to play defense. They're not going to let you just score. But when you watch the film from last night, what did you notice about the amount of turnovers that were maybe self-inflicted from not being precise enough?
A combination. I think that was a big portion of it, too. You had Derek White with a couple tap from behinds. You had some mishaps on one-handed passes, a little sloppy on DHOs. We just got done watching it, knowing that it's going to transfer over to how these guys play tonight. So ball security is going to be one key priority. 2 is taking the shot when you're open, and then reshaping the floor once you've attacked the lane. We've got to give guys the proper space in order to find the right outlet passes against a team like this.
Kind of on that point, I know it's been something we've talked a bit about throughout the season, but Desmond only had 1 3-point attempt. How do you go about making sure that he gets his diet of shots and keeping him involved within the offense?
Yeah, I think putting the ball in his hands more. I think, not just off ball, because teams have, figured out ways that, to top lock him, to send him on the baseline so then he's not getting shots coming up the floor. So if we can put the ball in his hands, similar to how we did the other night, him and Wendell in the pick and roll, finding him, getting great hits on him to open him up and free him up. Those are little situations that we'll look at just to keep him aggressive, getting downhill, but also with the way they play defense, he'll be able to get his shot a little bit more.
13 assists from him in the last 2 games, though.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been pleased that even if he's not getting the shots and he's still finding a way to be involved and still impacting games?
Desmond is a winner, and he's going to try to find ways to win. If it's not about his shot, it's about his teammates. He's going to make the right play. And, when the bigs are up at the level, he's going to find those bigs in our pocket to make them have to make a play. If they're dropped, he'll knock down the shot, push the break to attack to get downhill. Those are little situations that he's going to do, and all the small things to help this team try to figure out how to get the win.
Coach, can you describe the vibe in the locker room going into a game like this after you've played yesterday?
Serious. Great shoot around, walk through, detailed the work of what we're going to see tonight, both offensively and defensively. Understand what we let go of last night, but you can't harp on that. You've got to take the lesson and learn from it and then apply it to tonight and see how we continue to get better in each game.
Coach, how impressive has Tristan da Silva been to you, not just shooting the ball, but his off-ball timing, cuts off of Franz, especially forcing steals, and could you foresee his role getting even bigger as the season goes on? Do you trust him to close when he's feeling it on any given night?
I mean, we do it by committee, and, Tristan has been a great spark for us off the bench.
Coach, what can you say about the job that Tiago Splitter has done, especially being thrust into this role, and how do you prepare for someone with his level of basketball acumen?
I think there's great coaches throughout this league. We face them every single night, and I think knowing he's done a great job preparing, being thrust in that situation, he's embraced it. He was a head coach, overseas, so he understands exactly. He's got some great, background in mentorship, playing and being around Pop. So I think those are big time keys for him, and he does a phenomenal job of relating to the players, telling them exactly what they need. They play hard, they play together, they play aggressive, they share, move the basketball. So I think that's a quality of what he's done, but it's also a lot of the foundation of what Chauncey has laid before he got there as well. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Chapman here with you. I'm still on the radio deck, and Coach Mosley, a couple things that I liked about what he said. And by the way, welcome back. It's Orlando Magic game day. Jake Chapman with you up on the radio deck, getting set for the Portland Trailblazers tonight, third in 4 games, and we'll head out on the road. We'll see the New York Knicks on Wednesday night at Madison Square Garden, Paulo Banchero's 23rd birthday. Oh, by the way, let's see. There we are. I have to check my framing there. Comments coming in. Coach Mosley is done with his pregame presser. He talked about getting Dez some looks, and the diet of shots is the way that Philip Rossman-Reich phrased the question. And there's so much consternation right now as far as Desmond Bane and his role within the offense. I thought Phil put a good kind of addendum onto the question. Oh, by the way, he's averaging 6.5 assists over the last 2 games. And somehow everybody was frustrated with it yesterday. Well, it's because you lost the game. I understand that. But the idea of Desmond Bane playmaking is exactly what he's here for. And so, ideally, Dez is doing a little bit of both. And that's what Coach Mosley said. I think everybody wants him to be, just sitting out on the perimeter waiting for the spray outs and knocking down open shots. I'm not sure that's utilizing the guy you gave up 5 first-round picks properly for. You don't mortgage the future for simply a floor spacer. You did all of that for Desmond Bane so that he can do a lot more within the offense. So Coach Mosley's saying, we're going to put the ball in his hands even more. We're going to run some pick-and-roll stuff with him. Teams are doing a lot that we don't recognize. Top-blocking him, forcing him into different directions, and paying a lot of attention to him. That's attention that was not paid to the shooting guard last year. That's attention that's not being paid to Franz and Paulo. And that's part of the reasons the offensive numbers look so much better so far this year than they did last year. Averaging 116 points per game this year. You're still, not as efficient as you'd like to be from three-point range, but it's better than it was last year. You're 21st in the league, 34%. And over the last 4 games heading into last night, you were up around 39% shooting the 3. And so the offense is starting to click. But I do think figuring out different ways to utilize Desmond Bane is something that Coach Mosley is attempting to do right now. I like what he said about reshaping the floor, because that is what I think was missing last night. On Friday night, you saw the ball movement, you saw those paint touches, and you saw as you sprayed out, guys were adjusting and relocating and finding open looks and hunting open looks, and the ball was moving, the ball was finding them. Last night, it felt like everybody was kind of standing around and, okay, now it's my turn, dribble into 3 or 4 guys in the paint. Okay, now it's your turn. It just didn't feel like there was ball movement with purpose last night, and you need that against a good team like Boston defensively. You need that against a good team like Portland tonight as well, because as Coach Mosley said, Tiago Splitter, former San Antonio Spur, an assistant under Chauncey Billups, and this was coming last year. The Blazers were starting to put this together last year. They got a good young roster. They worked their butts off defensively, and they can get it from a couple different places. But Drew Holiday has come in, and he's doing Drew Holiday things. Denny Avdia is playing like an all-star right now, and they've got some good shot blockers as well, and Donovan Clingan. They do have Bob Williams back. He's not playing a ton just yet. Played 7 minutes on Saturday night, but when he's out there, he's out there to try to protect the rim. Chrissy Birdsall has rejoined me. Hopefully she's not out of breath. I'm not sure quite how much longer we're going to go, Chrissy, but you can bring us home. We got about 5 minutes left.
Yeah, just got down from...
Did you take the elevator up or the stairs?
I did the elevator this time.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah, I ran into Frank on my way up, which was always good.
Frank Lover?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't think they know who. He's a radio engineer. I'm not sure that people are aware of that. What did you take away from Coach Mosley's press conference?
I think cooler heads prevail for sure. After hearing Mosley's comments yesterday, he was very fired up after the game. It was a close one that they weren't able to come away with. Hearing him today, it seems like after reviewing the film, going through the walkthrough, that there's just a different seriousness to it, and that's what he said. The locker room's very serious right now. They know what the opportunity is for this game tonight, and then heading into the next week. It's a really good way to try and springboard before you go on the road to New York and then come back. And I like that, and a lot of the things that we were talking about as well. Ball movement, turnovers, getting Bean involved. Tristan Da Silva, what has he been doing? I thought a lot of those important pieces and keys that he broke down, I think is going to be really important tonight.
Yeah, I think seriousness is good. I'm just hoping we don't start to feel the pressure too much. It is early in the year. You're 2 games below 500. If you'd lost by 30 last night, okay, let's talk. You're talking about a couple buckets last night. You're talking about a couple buckets and turnovers in a few games, and it could be 6-4 and feel a lot different. So let's not get too crazy just yet. What was the comment I just saw a moment ago?
Was it the one from Prime?
Yeah, the expectations put on Dez's shoulders this early in the season has been a little outrageous. Give him a minute. Give Dez a minute and give the guys around him a minute, because it's a big adjustment. And I know people, if we're having the same conversation 2 weeks from now, feel free to tell me to shut up if I'm saying it's an adjustment period on game 18. But you can't microwave it. I realize we want everything to happen overnight in today's day and age, but I think you got to be a little bit patient, and you have seen positive results. It's not like it's terrible right now. Desmond Bane had 6.5 assists over the last 2 games. He is playmaking. They are adjusting to different looks, and the offense, I think, is certainly progressing as the season goes. Frying said right before the break, he made a very good point about how we haven't lost a game when Goga Batadze has made a 3.
I was going to ask if you hit on that, because that was the comment that I saw from Frying right away, and I was like,
and
I
then
know
apparently Dewberry cut me off because we had to hear from Coach Mosley at the beginning of the press conference. Give the people what they want, the actual head coach. No, all I said was that I don't think Coach Mosley is aware of that stat. It is anything. I will tell David Steele about it. But what I should have done is probably texted you, and then you could have asked Jamal. I'm sure he would have been really stoked to answer that question. It would have fit in last night with the post-game press conference, to be honest with you. The idea of, are you trying to get Goga Batadze more looks from the perimeter? No, credit Goga for knocking them down when he's gotten them, and Brian makes a really good point. 2-0 on the season when Goga hits a triple.
Well, he talked about that last coming into the year. He played well in Eurobasket, hit a couple of threes. We'll see how he continues to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say this somewhat in jest, but also kind of seriously. Sometimes the willingness to shoot the 3 is the important part, because that's what draws a defender to you. The thing you can't have is where everybody in the building knows that you're definitely not going to shoot it, because now you're basically playing 4-on-5. But just the willingness to pull, I think that helps. That loosens up the defense a little bit, and now you've got a little bit more space to attack with. But with that said, the book on the Magic is still the same. The paint is still packed, and we still need to figure out ways to beat that. The shooting is better. The ball movement is a work in progress. But the dribble drive, the kick, and then the swing, that's the offense, or at least that's the sort of structure that you're looking for. We got guys who are capable of doing it, but that ball needs to be popping. You can see it when it looks good. It did on Friday night, and then there's just been lulls. And the weird part is right now what's happening in quarters 2 and 3 pretty specifically. So you can't really point to one guy or one play, or if we ran more of this, then it would work. Like, there's an equal amount of blame, and you saw it in both the Celtics games. The first quarter you come out, I think as of over the weekend, we were like 5th or 6th in the league in first quarter scoring, averaging over 30 points a game. But then it feels like in the second quarter and then coming out of the halftime locker room, things kind of stall out a little bit. And I don't know exactly what that is, but we got to get that rectified. You can't wait until the fourth quarter to put it into gear, which is what happened last night, specifically with Paulo, but nobody else really helped him in the fourth quarter. And you got to figure out, you got to bottle up what you're doing in the first 12 minutes of the game and try to carry that throughout the rest of the night. All right, I think I'm just about out of gas. I don't know where we're going next, but it's probably something very, very interesting and intriguing. Do you have anything to say to the folks before we go?
Currently just looking through the comments. You guys have a lot of great questions.
Oh, yeah. Do you have TikTok?
Comments.
Because I tried to check the TikTok comments. Dewberry told me to, and I'm not even sure I know how to do that.
Yeah, you just go on TikTok. There's tons of comments coming in right now, all about Paulo Banchero, how he's been playing, seeing stuff about Desmond Bane. Just some really good stuff from you guys. Keep asking questions. We're going to be doing this for the next hour. And
I'm not.
No, not us.
Not
but
us. No, I need a coffee. But keep the comments coming. We appreciate it. She's Chrissy. I'm Jake. Check us out on the radio broadcast tonight, 96.9 The Game, beginning at 6:30. Stream us on iHeart or on the Orlando Magic app or outside of the listening area, Sirius XM and NBA League Audio Pass as well. We'll send you down to the floor. Go Magic. Let's get one tonight.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second half of Magic Game Day. My name is Marley Arnold, and I'm so glad I'm here with you today. We're going to have a lot of fun. We have a lot of cool things planned. So right now, we are inside one of the Magic retail shops. We switched it up this time, and now we're on the terrace level shop. This is what it looks like, but there's a special retail item tonight specific for this game. And this is what it looks like, guys. How cool is this? I'm obsessed. I need this for myself, and it's only $15. So that's insane. What do we think about this, chat, though? Let me know in the comments, rate it 1 through 10, but I'm giving this a solid 10 because I think that this is so cute. You can only grab it if you're coming to the game tonight. So if you're at home and you're watching this, either hurry up and come to the game, or next game, make sure you come because they've been doing a lot of drops like this and collabs and things like this for only $15. So it's a steal and it's really, really nice. Pretty soon we're gonna play a game to let someone win this. So let's see what you guys are thinking about this. A lot of solid 10s in the chat. I love to see it. The star is so nice. I agree. The star matches my little stars. Yes. Okay, you guys are liking the shirt tonight, and I gotta give it to you. I agree. This one is fire. So if you're here at the Kia Center, make sure you come to the team shop because when it's sold out, it's sold out. So you guys gotta get it. You gotta get it while you can. For sure. Oh, you guys are ready for the game. You guys are ready for the trivia because you guys can play along as well. Let's see if you would win a t-shirt if you played my trivia. But should we take a look around and maybe try to find someone to play my trivia with? We gotta find a real fan, guys. Maybe we'll take it to the bridge and see if we can catch anybody coming in who wants to play. Let's see, let's see. Chat, I'm so excited for this trivia, and I'm so excited to give away this shirt because this is one of my favorites. But over here is the bridge, so we got everybody coming in and the fans are getting ready. Last night we didn't get the W, but I'm feeling the energy today. I'm feeling excited. I know the boys are ready, and I think we're gonna get the W today. So let me know. Put those W's in the chat, guys. We need the energy, and you know what's gonna happen. You know the vibes, and you know what's up. So let's see, let's see. Yes, good vibes all around. All around. We're taking home the win tonight. Yes. Yes. Oh, you got the energy is on fire in the chat. Let's keep it going. Ooh, someone's at the arena right now. So cool. Yeah, are you going to the team shop to get the shirt? I hope you are. If you're here, I would be sprinting there. But we're still looking for fans, guys. Play trivia. See who might win this shirt. So let's see, let's see. How are we feeling about game day? Let me know in the chat. Go Magic, a lot of Go Magics in the chat. Love to see it. Good energy today, guys. Loving the energy. Let's check out YouTube because we are streaming on multiple platforms right now. So I'm bouncing back through all the platforms and reading all of your comments, but whatever platform you're on right now, just click that follow button. It's really easy. Just do it, guys, because we have a lot of fun things and you wanna be here for all the content. Let's go Magic. Yes. Dino, you're bringing the energy and I love to see it. Hello to Will Dawson. Can we win tonight? Yes, we're gonna win tonight, guys. Trust. I feel it. And every time I say this, we end up winning. So, hey, we'll see. Who's here though? Who's here? Someone said that they're going to the team store right now to get a shirt. That's insane. And I'm so here for it. And if you guys end up seeing me, then come say hi. But let's keep wandering around and see if we see anybody, guys. But yeah, definitely good energy in the chat and I love to see it. I'm all here for it. We got so many W's in the chat and a lot of Let's Go Magic. So that's it. Yes. So who's ready for the trivia? It's coming up in just a little bit. We're gonna find someone and give the shirt to them if they can get all 3 questions right. If you guys were to play trivia, do you think you would win? Are you a Magic historian? How well do you know ball? Do you know ball? Let's see. Should I start you guys out with some questions? some random questions while we wait and find someone. Let's see. I just want to know where everyone's watching from to begin with. I'm an Orlando girly, born and raised, so yep. Ooh, Canada. Hello, Canada. Love that. Wow. Someone said they have stuff tattooed on them. I absolutely love that, and I need to see that because that's what I love. I love to see that. Virginia, here from the UK. Amazing. So many people from everywhere watching, and that is insane. Love the support for the Magic. If you guys could design your own Magic merch, what would it look like? Honestly, mine would low-key look like the one that's tonight at the retail shop because it's just cute and simple, and I love it. But what would yours look like? Ooh, someone said different colors other than blue. What colors are you thinking? I would love like a blue and pink. I'm a pink girl, so. Wow, so many people from all over. Love to see it, love to see it. Hi.
How you doing?
Are you ready for some trivia?
Nope.
Okay, let me get my mic. We gotta get this.
Let's do it.
So basically, I'll be asking you 3 questions.
All right.
We're gonna test your ball knowledge, okay? Okay, and you got this, all right? You gotta get 3 right, and you will win the retail item tonight at the retail shop. It's the coolest shirt ever.
All right. Go Magic.
Can you rate it 1 through 10 for me?
9.
Okay, solid. I'll take it, I'll
White
take
shirts
it.
get dirty. That's the only
Okay.
reason it ain't a 10.
Solid. All right, you ready?
Sure.
Okay. So, first question.
All right.
In the 1992 NBA draft, what number jersey was Shaquille O'Neal holding up? Here we go. 21, 1, or 33?
33.
Correct. Good job. Okay, 2 more. You got this. Second question. What year was the Orlando Magic founded? Okay, here's your options. 1979, 1989, 1999, or 2000?
89.
Yes. Look at you.
Okay,
You're killing it. Okay. 2 for 2. Last one, best one. Here we go. Which Magic player holds the NBA record for the most assists in a single game? Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
We have Alfred Payton, Penny Hardaway, or Scott Skiles, or Jalen Suggs. Which one is it going to be?
It has to be Hardaway. No.
Think about it. Think about it really hard.
Say them again. One more time.
Okay. We have Alfred Payton,
No.
Penny Hardaway,
Okay.
Scott Skiles, or Jalen Suggs.
3. Scott Skiles.
There you go. You got them all. Woo! You win the t-shirt. Let's go. Good job. Thank you for playing. You killed it. Of course. All right, guys. Love to see it. He killed that. He knows. How many people in the chat got it right, though? Did you guys play along? Let's see what you guys were saying in the chat. Let's see. Yeah, Scott Skiles. You guys know your ball too. You do. You guys think that if you played trivia, you would have won? Was that easy or hard? We have some people in the comments saying it was easy and hard. So I don't know. I think that man knew what was up, and I'm very proud of him. That was well deserved. But guess what, guys? We are now heading to the court. They got the music going. The boys are out here practicing, warming up to get that W tonight. And I'm loving the energy already. Absolutely loving it. Guys, if you got all those questions from my trivia right, drop a little wizard emoji in the chat. See who nailed it. But as we make our way down to the court, let's keep that energy going. Drop your predictions for the score tonight. And what player are you watching? Really locked in on. Hi. Good. I've been really locked in on Tristan so far. He's been super solid and just like nailing those threes. And I love to see it. Maybe the Euro basket, you know, kind of played into that energy that he's bringing this year because he's on fire. Let's see who we got out here. We have Franz warming up and getting ready. I love to see it. I love to see it, guys. Let's see who you guys are planning on really focusing on in and.
How are you tonight?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have to have it.
She's good.
All right, chat. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Hey, the security's good here, and we love to see it. That's what we need, guys. That's what we need. All right, let's keep walking. Let's keep walking. Ooh, a lot of people are saying they're locking in on Franz. Yes, yes, yes. All right, all right. Tristan, yes, they're locking in on them. All right, let's go this way. Let's go this way. I think we're going to try to find Josh, guys. And maybe we can interview him and ask him some things. So if you had the opportunity to talk to him, what would you ask him? Let me know in the chat. Ooh, a lot of wizard emojis in the chat. You guys know your magic knowledge. Yes. Let's see those final score predictions in the chat, guys. What do we think? Over or under 20 points for Franz tonight? Definitely over. Duh. All right, guys. I think we are going to interview Josh Cohen now. So let's do that. Hello, hello. How's it going?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, and I'm liking the energy today. You know, I feel like it's gonna be a good one for sure. The fans have been buzzing all about this matchup, you know, so they're here for it. Before we dive into the predictions, let's just talk about what's been standing out so far this season.
Yeah, I think the things that Orlando has done really well, number one, they're getting to the free throw line a lot. We figured that would be one of their specialties. They're still forcing opponents into a lot of turnovers, also something we expected. The three-point shooting has been inconsistent. That obviously has to get better. We figured Desmond Bane will start taking more threes, hopefully, in the upcoming games. So those are some of the things that are really standing out. Paolo's spray-out passing has been really good. Franz's driving, as usual, is really good. They're playing faster, playing in transition more. So those are some of the things they want to keep up with and have been really effective so far.
Sounds good. Well, I have a few questions for you. So let's get into it. The Trailblazers, they've been surprising people early this season, you know, with their early results. So what do you think has been their key to success so far?
Well, they're also playing substantially faster than they did last year, kind of similar to Orlando. They're getting up a lot of threes, but they're not making that many, so that's one of their weaknesses. But the thing they do really well, which is something Orlando really has to focus on, they're the best at forcing opponents into turnovers. So the Magic have struggled with that. And we talked the other day about how Boston and Orlando have contrasting styles. Portland and Orlando have a lot of similarities, which makes this matchup intriguing for that reason.
Yeah, definitely gonna be a good one for sure. So here's another one. How good has Denny Avdia been this season? Let's just talk about that for a little bit, you know?
Well, he's a player that I've definitely been watching for a while. I saw him in Eurobasket when he played for Israel, and he plays really fast. There's a lot of similarity to Franz Wagner. There's definitely some commonality in the way they play. Denny is great at getting to the basket, similar to Franz. He's also really, really, really good at initiating contact on those drives. He's averaging over 8 free throws a game, which is a career high. Three-point shooting has been hit or miss, but exceptional in transition, really tough, very much a grueling player, a guy who could really get downhill and use his force and aggressiveness.
I feel like it's very good to know all of this and how it kind of correlates into our playing and all of that. So with all of that being said, last final big question about the Trailblazers, like, now that we know this, what do you think are the key takeaways for Magic tonight? What do we need to lock in on? What do we need to focus on? And what do we just need to do to get that W tonight?
Yeah, so we talked earlier, Portland is going to try to turn you over. The Magic have struggled with that. the Magic have to take care of the ball. That's the priority first and foremost. Magic are really good also at keeping opponents away from the three-point line. This is an interesting situation because Portland does take a lot of threes, but they're third to last right now in percentage. Difficult situation. They may want to sag off a little bit in some cases, but certainly it's the Magic's MO to run opponents off the three-point line and don't foul. The Blazers very good at getting to the free throw line, so make sure the fouling is down.
Yeah, fouling down for sure tonight, but I think that pretty much covers everything. Thank you so much again for everything, Josh. Always a pleasure talking to you. See you next time. Thank you. Thank you. That was Josh Cohen, guys. Well, what do we think about that? Insane insight as always. He just so good. I love speaking with him, but make sure that you guys stick around for Courtside Countdown, which is presented by Hard Rock Bet. That is coming up with Kendra and Dan at the top of the hour. But before we go, drop those score predictions. Give that good energy for Magic tonight, guys. It's going to be such a good one. And if you're at the Kia Center tonight, don't forget to stop by that retail store to get the shirt exclusive for today. Once it's gone, it's gone. But my name is Marley Arnold. It was a pleasure hanging out with you guys today. Let's go Magic. I'll see you guys next time.
Hard Rock Bet. I'm your host, Kendra Douglas, the team reporter for the Orlando Magic, and thank you guys for joining us today. I love the comments coming in already. I've seen some stuff. I want to get to as many as I can before we dive into last night's game and then look ahead to tonight's game against the Portland Trailblazers, which you can watch on the FanDuel Sports Network app and on FanDuel Sports Network, which is your home for the Orlando Magic. So let's get to some of the comments as being said already. I was looking at some, and I love, you guys saw Jonathan Isaac. He was here on the court. You guys love the Minister of Defense bringing that energy. That's something that we're going to want to see a lot from this team. How do you bounce back off that loss? How do you continue to stay strong and continue to put the pieces together? As we know, turnovers were tricky for this team last night. So how do you continue to grow off those mistakes and keep it going? I loved one of the comments that I saw too, that it said something about the support bench, and you guys were talking about AB and Tristan and wanting to see them do well as well. Ooh, I love this one. The team has to maintain its identity of defense. The fast pace will get better with time, but defense has to be strong. Juan, I love that you said that, because here's the thing. Coach Mosley said last night, it's not about the pace. It's about you can't turn the ball over, and you have to continue to keep their identity, which this team has to continue to do. That defense identity, that mindset we love from this team, we got to see more of that continue. And then the pace will continue to go and get better, and all the key pieces will come together. So I love the comments that you guys are bringing in. Continue to keep them going. Continue to keep talking to me. What else do you want to talk about? Ooh, I like this one. Adam saying people need to calm down. Yeah, calm down, everyone. Calm down. All right, let's get to those Paolo highlights to talk about his game and his performance in the fourth quarter, because it was ultimately something that we'd love to see within Paolo Banchero, what he's been able to do for this squad. So Paolo was able to really turn things up a little bit for the Magic when it came to that fourth quarter. We loved what we got to see from him. Overall, though, yeah, when you see what he's able to do and what he's able to accomplish so far with this group, one thing that we saw from him was the assist. We love that we got to see a little bit more from him when it came to just dishing it out, making plays for guys. But his performance overall, too, when it came to those points at the end of the game, I mean, what can you say about Paolo Banchero and just what he was able to do? I mean, the highlights, they speak for himself. 14 of his 28 points happened in the fourth quarter. So I think that says a lot about his performance, how he's able to continue to turn it up another level for them. And you want to see more of that as we move forward. You want to see him continue to be that all-around player, the growth, the consistency we're seeing from him. That's what you want to see from him. He's an elite player, and he's going to continue to grow and be an elite player with this group. Okay, as you saw, 28 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists for Paolo Banchero on the night. Much more that you hope to see from him tonight in this game. You know these guys want to bounce back, especially when you take a look at the road ahead and what's going to happen, because the Magic, they're going to be going to New York in a couple days and playing the Knicks. So you know that they're going to want to get a really good game against this team tonight, because ultimately the schedule ahead, it's going to be harder and trickier, but it's what you expect as this team looks to continue to get on the right foot, continue to find their footing, continue to find their consistency. As you can see right there, you got the Knicks, then you got Brooklyn, and then Houston on the road. So Magic fans, if you are home, you have an opportunity to see them play the Brooklyn Nets, but on the road, they'll be taking on the Knicks, and they'll be taking on Houston. So that'll be really big. That'll be really big for them to do. And we want to see more of that from them. We want to see these guys play these teams and be aggressive against them. I want to hear what you're looking forward to. What group or what teams, what schedule, looking at the schedule, what do you want to see? What do you want to see more of from them? Do you want to see, or what games do you want to see? How do you want to see them play against these teams? You saw that they have the Knicks. You see they have the Nets, Houston. You guys tell me. You guys tell me. Ooh, I love this. Adam said free throws looked great the last game. We love that. We love that. As we bring in our second member of Courtside Countdown, presented by Hard Rock Bet, Dan Savage. Mr. Savage, you know the people, they love you. They can't wait to hear from you. I just asked the guys, I just asked everyone what they're looking forward to when it comes to this upcoming schedule. We're going to talk about Portland in a minute, but I want to get your take too. You have the Knicks, you have Brooklyn, and then you have Houston. Those are three really good teams, and those are three teams where you're hoping that the Magic, they can capitalize as much as possible.
No question. And you look at having to go on the road, play in a place like MSG, a win there can really help motivate the team, help give them the confidence, a little bit of a boost. So that's one that I'll really be looking forward to. They're a team who has Eastern Conference finals aspirations as well. So that'll be a matchup, a nice measuring stick for the Magic at this point early in the season.
It is. And tonight's game will be against the Portland Trailblazers at 7 p.m. And again, you can watch that on FanDuel Sports Network and on the FanDuel Sports Network app. But talking about this game tonight, when you look at these teams, I don't want to call them identical, but they have some similarities. They're a young group, too. They're gritty, too, on defense as well. And you can tell that they also want to push the pace when it comes to offense. And they're great with scoring on turnovers. So when you see this matchup and when you see that how this team wants to make a bounce back, what are you looking for the most against this Portland group?
No, it's a good point. If you only watched Portland last season and haven't had a chance to watch them this season, they're going to look a lot different. They are pushing the pace, and where they're doing an exceptional job is really capitalizing off turnovers.
Yeah.
They're number one in the NBA in points off turnovers. They're really making teams pay, and that's not a recipe for success for the Orlando Magic, who struggled in that area last night. So ball security is going to be paramount tonight against this Portland Trailblazers team because they will really make you pay. Now, on the flip side of that, you've played a Celtics team twice in a row that plays gap schemes similarly. You played a Hawks team who attacks teams the same way. So you've had some experience in teams trying to play like this way. It's just going to be a matter of, are you up for the challenge, and can you be disciplined in moving the basketball?
Yeah, I think you're right. Those 17 turnovers for 29 points. That's nothing that Coach Mosley wants to see again going into.
He made that very clear.
And he made that very clear. That's not what he wants to see with this team tonight. I love that you mentioned ball security. That's going to be huge for this team. One of the things, though, that Adam mentioned was free throws looked great last game.
Yeah.
Yes. We love to see that this team is getting to the line more, and we love to see that they're knocking down shots and getting those free throw shots down. That's important when you talk about this team who is playing gritty, continuing to, can we find a new word for pace? What's a new word? I'm so tired of that phrase.
You want them to play good in transition and off of turnovers, because Magic head coach Jamal Mosley has made it clear it's not just playing fast willy-nilly.
Yeah.
It's when you get stops on the defensive end, converting and flipping that into quick offensive play. And that's what he wants to see out of this team. And it's one of the things that Trailblazers do so well.
Yeah. Some of your other comments that you guys are saying today, Kristen says, I do hope that they move the ball tonight. I think that that's what you want to see from this group too, but you just also want to see them take care of the ball and have ball security.
No question. Look, in the 4 matchups heading into their prior game against the Celtics last night, the Magic had 25-plus assists in all of them, so they were moving the basketball.
Yeah.
What Magic head coach Jamal Mosley wants to see is it look more like that Friday matchup versus the Celtics rather than the one that you saw Sunday where they're driving into traffic, trying to pass it out once 2 or 3 bodies have already collapsed. Got to make the pass and the decision a little bit earlier. And when you're open, shoot the basketball. Some of the turnovers were created with the right intention, trying to share the basketball. But when you're open, you have to shoot it because those are the opportunities that this offense is trying to create. Yeah,
Mosley said you can't give yourself a chance if you turn the ball over that many times. So that's going to be, I think, a big emphasis with this group. They're going to want to make sure that, they're giving good to great passes, but also taking care of the ball and making sure that they aren't going to be turning the ball over as much as they did last night. Some other comments that you guys are saying, I hope Tristan and Wendell are playing as they have been so far, meaning you like what you're seeing from Tristan and Wendell. Those are 2 guys that I also had on my little notes that I wanted to talk about. Wendell's ability to guard at every position. I mean, oh my gosh, the way that he has been so far has just been phenomenal to see him as of late.
Yeah, and he's going to have a tough matchup tonight going against Donovan Clingan, who is strong both on the defensive glass and offensive glass. His 4.4 offensive rebounds per game are 5th best in the NBA. So it's going to be a big night for Dell trying to close out possessions. We've heard Magic head coach Jamal Mosley say that sporadically over the course of his tenure, and I think that's going to be a big point of emphasis tonight, is closing out the possessions against the Blazers, because they're a team that will generate second chance opportunities.
Yeah, he's averaging a little more than 7 rebounds a game, 12 points. So Wendell is on the trajectory of continuing to stay consistent, which we love to see. And I want to talk about Tristan as well. He was brought up during the pregame, and rightfully so. I mean, the way that he's been able, his shot selection, the way that he's been able to knock down the three-point shot for these guys, it just feels like we talked about it last night. We can continue to talk about him tonight. He's just finding his way. He's finding his groove, and I love to see that about him.
No, one of the things that Magic head coach Jamal Mosley has talked about is just finding your pace, finding your space as well. And I think that's what Tristan da Silva has done so well. He's such a good relocation shooter that regardless of where he is on the floor, he can relocate, find his opportunities, and knock down shots. And that's what's made him such a valuable piece to this team early in the season.
Okay, J Curve got me. He said, I got you with the alley-oop, Kendra, because he gave me more words than pace. J Curve, I love this. All right. He gave me tempo, cohesion, rhythm, synergy. I like
all
these.
those things.
All those
all
things.
the things.
That's the words I want to use. I'm using synergy and rhythm and cohesion from here on out. That's what we want to see more of. Thank you, J Curve, on that one. Okay, let's talk about Portland and what the Magic are going up against when it comes to this matchup. The Blazers, they're coming off a loss against Miami, and they are 5-4, while the Magic are 4-5. Now, both squads, like I mentioned, very defensive-minded, very young. But I want to talk about Adivia and just what he brings to the table.
Yeah. No, he's having an all-star caliber season, and whether it's scoring the basketball, playmaking for others, or rebounding, he's filling up the stat sheet across the board. So he's a guy that's going to be at the top of the scouting report takeaway. Ever since he's come to the Western Conference, he's been an impact player, and his numbers continue to get better and better. So he's making himself a case to be an all-star this season, especially when you talk about the various formats that they could have with World versus the U.S. He's a guy that, is plug and play right away and, has had a big impact for the Blazers, and partly why they've been so successful early in the season.
Yeah, Denny Adivia, he had 37 minutes, 33 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists in that loss to Miami. When you hear those stats, you don't think of a loss. So to know that that was a loss, you also know what he's going to bring to the table. Plus, they had some time to also look at what the Magic did, and they can definitely figure out the best way to try to get a win here at the Kia Center.
No, and one of the things that they do is they pressure for 94 feet. So I think early in the season, they've suffered a little bit of the same fate as the Magic, where while trying to get your conditioning level down, it can lead to lapses in some of the other areas. But when you talk about a team that you don't want to play on the second night of the back-to-back, it's a team like that with Portland that's going to be pressuring you all the way up at the court. And with Jalen Suggs, not playing on the second night of a back-to-back, that means you're a little bit thinner in the backcourt numbers, and it means guys like Anthony Black, Tyus Jones, etc., are going to receive that ball pressure earlier. And so what they're going to have to do is be smart with their offensive sets, look to secondary playmakers up the court, whether it be Franz, Paolo, Desmond Bane, etc., get the ball in those guys' hands and really break the pressure early and get into the offensive sets. Because what Portland's going to try to do is take you out of rhythm.
Even Anthony Black had a pretty good game. What I think I love about this team is, again, we talked about it, the depth. You just mentioned that Jalen Suggs, he's not going to be playing in the second night of a back-to-back, but I think that's okay because you can rely on guys like Anthony Black. The same thing happened in Charlotte. They were able to rely on Anthony Black to come in and take care of business. And it just feels like he's continuing to find his way, and that maturity of his game is really continuing to grow as well.
Yeah, and what you really want to see is that point of attack defense consistency continue to grow, because we've seen it in spurts with him. Tonight they're going to need it right out of the gate, where he's disrupting the other team, taking the Blazers out of their flow, and in turn that can lead for easy opportunities for the Magic offensively, because what that'll do is take some of the pressure off and get them out of doing what they do so well, which is pressure you up the court. If you're playing in transition, you're creating their mistakes, you can really capitalize against this Blazers team.
You really can. AB averaging 11 points so far this season, 3.2 rebounds, 2.3 assists. So it's just really good to see that he's really finding a name and a home for himself. I like to mention, I say a home, but also because his little brother is now in Orlando. Him and his whole family are now in Orlando. So he really is making his way, finding that comfort in the Orlando Magic, which you love to see that from a young guy who's continuing to progress. Some of the comments you guys are giving me, I love it. So keep the comments coming on all of our platforms. What do you want to see from tonight's game? Who do you want to see have a good game tonight against Portland? Some of the things that you guys are saying, the depth will not be denied. And it's so true. Whoever is coming in so far, you really love what they are accomplishing and what they're doing for the team. And I think our depth on this bench says it's not being looked at right now because of the situation of the turnovers and things, but that's something I think definitely needs attention to.
No question, Kendra, because you look at some of the past performances where the Magic have had success, whether it's a first matchup for the Celtics, whether it's the game against Washington or the game against Charlotte. The Magic's depth was an asset in those games.
Yeah.
You look at the bench numbers in Sunday's game against two completely different tales where the bench struggled, and as soon as the Magic broke the starting lineup, there was some disruption. So really need, especially on the second night of a back-to-back, your bench to step up and elevate the play, and that's what the Magic will need tonight if they want to come out with the victory.
Especially coming off that second night of a back-to-back.
Yes.
You really do look at your bench as the ones that really come in a little early maybe and help keep and set the tone for the game. All right, don't forget, you guys, I saw someone ask, you can watch tonight's game on FanDuel Sports Network or on the FanDuel Sports Network app, so make sure you guys lock into that. Dan, I want to get to your storylines for tonight's game.
Yeah, we've touched on some of them, but number one and foremost, take care of the basketball.
Okay.
You got to please the head coach. You gave up 29 points off turnovers against the Celtics team, coughed it up 17 times. This Blazers team is going to try to do the exact same thing. That's where they thrive. Their numbers in their victories are when they're turning teams over and generating a lot of points off that, so you have to take that off the table. Number two, you have to match the Blazers' energy. We know they're going to play at a frenetic pace. They're moving the basketball up and down the court. And what you have to do is be able to match that, and you have to rally behind the Kia Center crowd. And then finally, need a bench lift. We just got done talking about it. It's so imperative in these back-to-back situations against high-octane teams that your secondary unit comes in and doesn't skip a beat, and that's what the Magic need tonight because that was what was absent Sunday night against the Celtics.
Yeah, I love those keys. And do we have P5 behind us? We do. We got P5 warming up behind us, getting ready for tonight's game. I'm excited. He had a great fourth quarter, which, it's hard to look at that fourth quarter because of the loss, but he did. He was phenomenal with this game, at that game at the end, really looking to help his team get that win. So looking for him to start out strong and help this team out tonight.
No, he's a guy who commands so much attention, whether you look at his double team rate, which is amongst the highest in the NBA, his ability to get to the free throw line, which behind Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is right there. And then on top of that, a stat I was looking at today and I included in my preview is with his spray out passes where he's getting in towards the paint and kicking out, teammates are shooting at such a high percentage, over 50% on threes directly off those spray out passes. And that's led to guys like Franz, Wendell, Tristan, all shooting over 50% from three when they're directly off Paolo Banchero spray out passes because he commands so much attention and he's kicking it out to them. So we're going to need to see a healthy diet of that tonight, whether he's getting to the rim or kicking it out. I think putting the ball in the hands of Paolo, we'll only see more of that as the season goes along, and he's doing some damage when that occurs.
What I love that you just mentioned I love that stat for one. I think that's amazing. But I think that shows to his ability to be unselfish out there and also his ability of being an all-around player, which will continue to keep him in this game for years to come, which we love and we want to see that from him. Because those are the things that I think go a little unnoticed. Of course you want to see him get his shots up. Of course you want to see those poster dunks and everything. But for him to be a player that's well-rounded and well-balanced, I think will set the tone for his future and more to come from him.
No, because look, when other teams make up their scouting report and there are other talented coaches, other talented defensive players in this league, at the top of it is Paolo Banchero and taking away what he does so well, limiting his drives to the rim. So you see with him so often is they send a crowd. The second he puts the ball on the floor, there's 2 or 3 guys swarming to the basketball. So it's up to him.
Look at this one. Listen, we're talking about Paolo Banchero. What do you like about the way he's been able to be a well-rounded player, especially with him dishing it out to guys and getting them open?
Well, we talk about all the time. His gravity brings so much attention. He's playing in a crowd all the time, as Coach Mosley says. So I love what he's doing. So
as a guy with good shooting touch, how much did you love a spray out pass?
I love a good spray out touch, especially when I've got my feet set in the corner. That's about all I could do anyway. So
we love that. We love that. You know what? We got to start making like a Turner's takeover.
Yeah, Turner's takeover. Or a Turner's turn, because it's always right as he's coming out of the tunnel, making his turn. He comes out here and imparts us with his energy and his wisdom. And what would be better tonight than a Paolo Banchero kick-out pass for a Capaya that helps seal the game midway through the fourth quarter? I don't want to say late in the fourth quarter because I want to relax for once.
I know.
Ease the heart a little bit.
We were on edge yesterday.
Let's get mid-fourth quarter Capaya that puts the end to the Trailblazers. That would be nice.
I love that. Yes, a Turner's turn. That's a good one. I like that. All right, one of the questions that someone had, and I'm curious to what you think.
Yeah.
They said, in their opinion, the only way to stop Denny is getting him fouled out or getting early fouls. In your opinion, how do you limit someone like him and his ability?
Yeah, I think you have to really show him different bodies throughout the course of the game, and I think that's what the Magic have a plethora of guys who are capable of doing, whether you throw Franz at him, whether you have Paolo on him, whether you have Jonathan Isaac on him. They have guys that they could throw a mixture of them. Anthony Black's another one who can play up and guard. So that's what you really have to do is throw a number of different guys at him.
Yeah.
Because Portland's in a situation now where the Magic without Jalen Suggs tonight are a little thin on their secondary playmakers and backup point guards. So they'll put the ball in his hands a fair amount. And you have to capitalize on them by getting in the ball pressure early, showing them different bodies, and really turning them over.
I like some of the things. A take of Turner. I don't know if that's a tongue twister right there, but I like that one. A take of Turner. Bane bringing up the ball with double action play on both sides. That's what Adam just mentioned just now. I'm assuming that's what he really likes about Bane's ability to do that. What are you seeing? He 9 points last night, but still, I think he was very active and instrumental in getting guys and helping them out as well.
Yeah, the one thing that Desmond has done is, even if he's not getting his three-point shot off, which he didn't last game, only had one of those, and I'm sure the Magic will try to increase that diet of shots tonight against Portland. But even when he's not getting those, he's still driving the basketball. He's put up numbers in assists. I think he's had over 6 assists in the last 2 games. So he's finding ways to impact the game, and that's what you love about Desmond. He's a winner. He understands where he falls in the lay of the land and how to make an impact, even if he's not shooting the 3 ball. But I think you're going to see Jamal Mosley, especially tonight with Jalen out, put the ball in Dez's hands more, use some screens from Wendell and some of the other Magic bigs to get him some open looks. And I think that the number will definitely be higher than 1 3-pointer attempted tonight. I'd go far and say that that's an easy thing to predict.
Yeah, real quick, I want to get JT's opinion on our JT. Real quick, come here. We're gonna. Okay, so we really, we really like that you were able, like, you do this. You come in and and we're like, what should we name it? So Dan,
this is going to be a segment.
I think
I don't know if you can afford me, Kendra. I'm really expensive.
My things have turnered.
My things have turnered. We said a Turner. What would he say?
Turner's turn.
We said Turner's
take.
Turner's take. Someone else said.
Copy mark.
Oh, that's right. A take of Turner.
The take of Turner.
Yeah, I like Turner's turn.
Okay.
Because you're coming in on a turn, and you like that.
So you're going to make this a responsibility. I thought I was just gracing you with my presence.
You are, but I think
but now
whenever.
we're going to have an actual segment. And
Well,
I'm going to have to
whenever
think
you-
about this, make sure that I get the meatballs out of my teeth
Yes.
and all that stuff.
You know what? I love that you come in sporadically, but whenever we do, we say, "Oh, here's Turner's turn."
Okay.
You know,
all right.
you feel. I like it. I like it.
Okay.
I like
all right.
it.
My agent will be in
I'm
touch
about to say,
with
we'll see if we can afford you. Thanks,
you.
JT. I love working with him. I
Might
love
need a
working
few
with
extra
guys.
sponsors
I
along
know,
with Hard Rock
I know,
Bet
right?
for
I
Jeff
know.
Turner.
All right, before we let you go, let's talk about the upcoming schedule real quick. Like I mentioned, the Magic will get on the road, taking on the New York Knicks at MSG, then come right back here to take on another New York team, and then the Nets, and then get back on the road to take on Houston. So those are the upcoming schedule, which means Magic fans, you have more opportunities to come to the Kia Center to watch the Magic, and then also more opportunities to watch FanDuel Sports Network so you can keep up with what's going on with the Magic on the road. So those are all the things that I have for you guys today. So tonight, now it's your opportunity to head over to FanDuel Sports Network, your home of the Orlando Magic, to lock in with JT and Dante and David Steele and Mr. Terrence Ross is in the building.
Human Torch.
The Human
Torch takes.
Torch takes, right? So Terrence Ross will be with Dante Marcatelli for the pregame show. You don't want to miss that one. So make sure you guys lock in for tonight's game. As the Magic, they will look to bounce back and get into the win column against the Portland Trail Blazers. But that will do it for us. I'm Kendra Douglas. That's Dan Savage. Thank you guys for joining us on Courtside Countdown presented by Hard Rock Bet. We will see you when we get back here at home.
I know.
Yes, we'll see you at home, and I will see you guys on FanDuel Sports Network. Have a good night, everybody.